Video footage from a birthday bash Sean Diddy combs through for his friend Meek Mill in April of 2014 has surfaced in the midst of the disgraced rappers.
This is the first time in a Diddy story I've ever heard about condoms, man. We've heard about baby oils that supposedly they're spiking drinks with. We've heard about all type of things. We've never heard about a goddamn condom.
Y'all will not believe what just leaked. Shocking footage of Diddy and Meek Mill at what they're calling a Fr3ak-Off party has just hit the internet, and everyone is absolutely stunned. The things these two were allegedly doing are beyond wild. From eating sushi off of a woman's body to, well, let's just say the evidence they left behind tells quite a story. This video has people completely disgusted, so stick with me as we dive into what might be the most shocking footage ever released from an alleged Diddy party, and why so many celebrities who were caught on camera are desperate to keep it under wraps.
Wild nights. It says property manager recalls the aftermath of a birthday party Diddy threw for Meek Mill. Said he found blood-stained sheets, lubricant, cocaine, razors, underwear, and more. What the? Hold on. This sounds too crazy.
You know how everyone's been dying to see those clips from Diddy's infamous parties that the police seized during their raid? Well, because this investigation is so sensitive, none of that footage has been officially released. But here's the tea. Apparently, Diddy was such an obsessive recorder of his wild parties that some people out there are sitting on endless clips of these absolutely insane gatherings. And now, one of these explosive videos has finally leaked, and let me tell you, it is absolutely wild. Picture this. It's May 3rd, 2014, and Diddy decides to throw this extravagant 27th birthday party for his very close friend Meek Mill. When I say the clips from this party are shocking, I mean jaw-dropping. And you know what they say. When Diddy claimed there was no party like a Diddy party, he wasn't kidding. Speaking of which, when it came to Meek Mill's celebration, Diddy spared absolutely no expense. He rented out this absolutely gorgeous Parisian palace for the day, dropping a whopping $25,000. And trust me when I tell you, Diddy definitely got his money's worth with Meek, if you catch my drift.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Now, honey, let me paint you a picture of just how over the top this party was. Diddy made sure this place was absolutely packed. The mansion was so crowded you couldn't move without bumping into someone famous. We're talking King Buck, French Montana, L3AKS. All the big names were there. The Daily Mail reported that these celebrities were literally having to shuffle through the crowds with their entourages of bodyguards and arm candy. Can you believe there were nearly 900 people crammed into this party? It's absolutely mind-blowing. Inside this wild scene, things got even crazier. There were dancers wearing nothing but the tiniest bits of lingerie, performing these incredibly seductive dances for guests on makeshift stages throughout the mansion. Meanwhile, scantily dressed women were posing all over the house with various rappers. But here's where it gets really wild. In one of the most shocking scenes from the video, there was this girl lying completely naked on a table with just this tiny piece of clear vinyl barely covering her. They had sushi placed all over her body for people to eat off of her, and she was surrounded by other women offering different sauces for dipping. Now, I'm guessing that tiny vinyl piece was supposed to be for hygiene, but let's be real. If you're eating sushi off someone's naked body at a Diddy party, hygiene is probably the last thing on your mind. As the night went on, you could see people posing for the cameras with their friends, and at one point, Meek Mill, French Montana, and Diddy all got up to give this grand speech to everyone there.
Ain't no more liquor over there.
Now, let me tell you about the insane amount of planning that went into this party. 1 month before the big night, Diddy's PA reached out to Jason Haight, who managed the Parisian palace. Even though the party was actually 3 days after Meek's real birthday, Diddy had this very specific demand. He wanted it to happen the same night as the first Floyd Mayweather and Marcos Maidana fight, so everyone could really let loose. But here's where it gets really suspicious. Diddy insisted that all the bedrooms needed completely new bedding, and get this, They had to stay sealed until his team could personally supervise the installation, and he demanded that every single key to these rooms be handed over to him personally. Nobody else was allowed to have access, not a single soul. Now, according to Mr. Hate, they ran into this little problem with Diddy's demands for new locks. See, this wasn't just any old mansion. It was this incredibly fancy, historic place with expensive fixtures. But did Diddy care about that? Absolutely not. He just waved his hand and said money wasn't an issue. Mr. Hate was told to spend whatever it took to replace those locks. Diddy would cover everything.
Meek Mill birthday party, man, Vegas. Out here for the fight. Meek Mill birthday party, we turning up. I got the Weezy out here. This holy. Dreams worth more than money on the way.
Diddy's team was so controlling, they insisted that Mr. Hate had to stay on site during the entire party just in case anything went wrong. Listen to what Mr. Hate told the Daily Mail. "I told them I have a detached guest house in the rear of the property and that unless they summon me, I will stay there. I explained to them that the mansion is a period home, which meant all bedroom doors were solid wood with solid brass mortise type locks with crystal door handles and skeleton keys." But wait, it gets even more bizarre. Diddy went so far as to get an insurance policy to cover the mansion and everything in it, and you won't believe this, just in case there was any loss of life at the party. Yes, you heard that right. The party was expected to be so wild that they needed insurance for potential deaths. And here's something that's really raising eyebrows. Diddy brought his own smoke detectors, which mysteriously disappeared after the party was over. I mean, given everything we've heard about Diddy lately, were those really smoke detectors or something much more sinister? Oh, my word. Let me tell you what happened after this wild party finally ended around 3 a.m. The aftermath was absolutely disgusting. Mr. Hate said the house was left in complete shambles. There was trash everywhere, broken bottles scattered all over, and used just lying around like confetti. But the bedrooms, those were a whole other level of shocking. Every single room had used in them, and get this, there were literally hundreds of razor blades everywhere. According to Mr. Hate, there was splattered everywhere, on the floors, all over the dressers, you name it. And those fancy new bed sheets Diddy insisted on, they were all stained with. It was so revolting that they probably had to burn everything afterward. When this shocking video hit the internet, people absolutely lost their minds. Let me share some of these wild reactions with you. One person wrote something that had me nodding in agreement. "Call me old-fashioned, but I would rather eat my food off a plate." I mean, seriously. Another person raised a really disturbing point. Why would anyone humiliate themselves by letting people eat off their bodies like that? Is it money erases any self-respect or dignity? Or was this girl forced to do that as it has been alleged? Either way, it's gross. But here's where people started getting really suspicious. Someone pointed out Diddy's smoke detectors were cameras, and another person connected some seriously dark dots. I honestly cannot understand anyone with 1% self-respect and dignity attending such a party, but we are talking about celebrities who were themselves passed around in similar parties. Ask DiCaprio and J.Lo. And this comment really got people thinking. The smoke detectors he wanted must have had cameras in them. As for the double-sided locks, he could lock in anyone he pleased with him holding all the keys. I can't look at Hollywood, the twerking music industry the same. Release the full guest list and put them on the watch list. This type of sickness is dangerous.
Property manager recalls the aftermath of a birthday party Diddy threw for Meek Mill. Says he found blood-stained sheets, lubricant, tasers, underwear, and more. Goddamn. I'm just mad they chose this picture of him. Why he looking like that? This is crazy work. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just glad I don't go out.
And you know what's crazy? This isn't even the first time we're hearing about the shocking things that allegedly went down at Diddy's Fr3ak-Offs. Just a few weeks ago, this woman named Tanya, who used to attend these parties, came forward to say we haven't even heard the worst of what Diddy did. During her interview with Soft White Underbelly, Tanya spilled all the tea about her experiences, and let me tell you, what she described was absolutely mind-blowing. According to Tanya, Diddy was absolutely obsessed with secrecy at these parties. Like, we're talking years of these offs happening, and he went to incredible lengths to keep everything hush-hush. She said the security was so intense you couldn't just accidentally wander into one of these parties. No way! Everyone had to hand over their phones and electronics at the door, and get this, security would seal them in these bubble cases so nobody could sneak any photos or videos of what was going on inside. Apparently, Diddy was the only one allowed to record anything. But here's where it gets even wilder. Tanya revealed that these parties weren't just some chaotic free-for-alls, they were super organized with different sections, and guests couldn't just go wherever they wanted. She dropped this bombshell about how at one of these infamous Fr3ak-Off parties, one of Diddy's sons actually approached her after she got inside. Can you believe it? His own sons were apparently in charge of handpicking people to invite into the main house where the really wild stuff was allegedly happening.
So we get there, and that's when stuff got weird. And that's why they lock up our phones, because they know what we see in there, you know, it's he can get in trouble, like right now. So basically, we arrived, security guard patted us down. They put our phone in this little bubble case. So the bubble case is closed. They can't get unlocked until we walk out. So as we're in there, the only way of us taking any type of pictures is if we get in the photo booth. He has like a Team Love photo booth or whatever. Take like 4 pictures. So I, got pictures. I still got everything in my Snap too, like of the photos, everything. That's all you could get.
And honey, that's not even the half of it. Those lucky, or maybe not so lucky few who were chosen to participate in these offs were given these white shoes as some kind of twisted VIP pass. It was like a secret signal that they were approved for whatever crazy activities were going on. It's like there was this whole underground system in place, and not just anyone could get in, but brace yourself because it gets even darker. Tanya's description of what went on inside these parties is absolutely shocking. She said once you got into the special section of the house, it was complete chaos. The lights were so dim you could barely see, and the music was blasting so loud you couldn't hear yourself think. There were waitresses constantly pushing drinks on everyone, and, I kid you not, people were just walking around completely naked. And here's the weirdest part. Diddy apparently had this bizarre obsession with people dressed up like Harajuku dolls, complete with bright red lipstick. And this wasn't just some late-night craziness. Tanya claims she saw this happening at 7 in the morning. Plus, he always made sure to have Instagram models around, adding to this whole surreal scene. The whole thing sounds like something out of a twisted nightmare. So what do y'all think about this wild video finally getting leaked? Do you think we're going to see more videos coming out from these insane Diddy parties? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but don't go anywhere because I've got even more shocking news about Diddy coming up.